All right. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I'm perched up on this thing. We're live from Brooklyn.
All right.
We're moving around some chairs, and this is a stool, and that's a stool over here. And you know how it is, live shows and green screens over there. This is Show and Tell. We do this every single week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is where everyone shows and shares projects around the world with the Adafruit community and more. And you get a special sneak peek, especially during the summertime when folks are away on vacation, or when folks are coming back. We tend to see the beginning of projects or maybe the end of a project that someone worked on, or Burning Man stuff. You never know what's going to be on the Show and Tell. So this week, return Jeopardy champion, Jepler. Not a lot of people know. Him and I went up against Watson.
Yeah.
We took off school and we tried to beat Watson in Jeopardy, and we haven't seen Watson since. How's it going, Jeff?
Hi. So I think the question is, what is M68K Macintosh? But yeah, so I took a couple of months off and went to Europe, and also decided to do a retro computing project. And I think I've got my screen share up here if you want to bring that up.
Yeah.
So suppose,
yeah.
Suppose you've got a Macintosh from, the early 1990s, and you want to run Python on it. You'll go on the internet and you'll find out that the last version of Python is from 1999, and it's Python 1.5.2. If you're on a 68K Mac, that's like the limit. So forget about, we need to switch from Python 2 to Python 3. You can't even get to Python 2.
Oh, no.
But wait. I was thinking on my trip, MicroPython runs on computers with just a few 100K of storage and even less RAM. So what if? And so I'm going to be showing you this in a website called Infinite Mac, which is really cool. It lets you run emulators of tons of different Macs. And this is running software from 1991. And I got to remember which window I'm pointing into. So this is Mac System 7. It's like what I used in high school. And we have got MicroPython running. So it's got a lot of the usual stuff. If you click it, you get your REPL. And you've got all of those features of Python 3 that we're familiar with in CircuitPython and MicroPython. So like at the language level, it's a lot like Python 3. But of course, you're like, I want to do quick draw. And
of course,
we've got, a couple of basic demos. So here is a little kind of noir
I wish this existed when I was in high school.
But it does now, though. What's interesting is this emulation is like, I think 20, 30 years from now, when we're emulating LLMs and they're saying, help, I'm trapped in here. It's just amazing. Like this is the best time to look in the past, because you're not going to look at, this becomes beautiful instead of like, oh my God, gross.
Right.
You looked up the rock and there's something amazing underneath instead of.
And so, we can come over here in our text editor and I noticed we had a console window when we don't want it, so we can. I guess we're not going to type into it right now. Something went wrong, but you edit your code, you run it again. It's
caps lock. Who knows? Okay, but so what's interesting is you got quick draw going. You got basic MicroPython. Do you have file access? Can it read files?
What?
I do have file access. Yeah, so you can. Folders don't quite work, and it's partly due to that thing where Macintosh likes to use colons and that stuff. But the rudimentary stuff works with files, so you can open files. It doesn't deal with data forks very well.
Right, with resource forks, data forks,
resource forks, and all that fun stuff. But I'm kind of adding piece by piece, and I've been working with. I'm blanking on his name, but he's the author of Mastodon, the Mastodon client for classic Macintoshes, and he is keen to get this to the point where he can start, writing it in Python 3 instead of Python 1.
Yeah.
And
funny.
It's just been a lot of fun to work on this. So
this is great. It's such a perfect bridge, because it brings you right to the edge of where you need to with modern computing, and still gives you all the constraints that makes this fun.
And it's fast enough, because it's optimized for 32-bit microcontroller, 16-bit microcontroller.
So cool. And we're in the zone right now with Fruit Jam and all the things that we want to do with microcontrollers and a scripting language. So what a great trip you had, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I'd love to stay and show you some vacation photos, but I hope you got some other people to talk
Yeah, we have some other
to.
folks.
We'll jump back if we
yeah.
if we
Let's
get
go through all the
time.
folks, and if there's vacation
All right.
photos.
Well, I'll pull up a couple photos from a cool computer museum I visited.
Yeah.
Okay,
if
cool.
you get back to me.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Next up, let's go to. I wonder if Jepler's going to show them in like Mac album.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like,
let's go to JP, then we'll go to Tim. Hey, JP,
my hypercard stack of my summer vacation.
Yeah.
Hey, so I have a question actually for Lamore. Can we run the Mac emulator on a Fruit Jam and then run the Python MicroPython port on Jeff's Mac?
That was the first thing I asked him, and apparently yes, we can. So we'll make an image so we can. People who want to. I mean, like, seriously, when I was in high school, people don't remember compilers you had to buy. You couldn't just write code. And so the idea that, like, if
there wasn't a subscription,
there was no way to just like
you didn't have a compiler subscription like we all have now.
I know,
or
much
tokens?
less like an LLM.
Tokens?
It's like I remember, like, I asked on a BBS. I was like, I want to learn to program, but I can't afford. Like, I'm 14. I don't have enough money for a compiler, and somebody sent me what's the Pascal that they had for Mac? I don't remember the name of it. It wasn't Borland Pascal. There was some Pascal. And he sent me like the book. It came with a book and software, and actually learned Pascal as my first language because it was like the only compiler I could get. So like I like, it would have been so great. It's so amazing. Like, compilers and build platforms are free now, and people understand how great that is. I hate Keel.
Those Borland things that was like $350.
It was not cheap either. It wasn't like $29 to save my money. No. It was like $300, $400.
How old are you?
I was 14.
14.
Yeah, you're not.
For most 14-year-old girls, because I have a daughter, I have to think about this now. Most 14-year-old girls, and I know this is a fact because I've just talked to a 10-year-old yesterday, want to be YouTube influencers or YouTube stars. You wanted to get a compiler for things. So I think we have to make sure we keep talking about computer science. And why did you want to do that instead of other things at the time?
Because I just was like, oh, there's a computer, and I was like, I was playing games, and I was like, I want to learn how to like write my own games and stuff. I thought that'd be really cool.
It was really cool.
I wanted to write text adventures. Like, I played text adventures, and I was like, oh, I want to.
So there was something you wanted to do, and that was the way to get there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's amazing segue, actually, when you say text adventures, because what I got right here, this is a Apple floppy disk with Zork I on it.
Right. So back to JP.
No, these are all scripted. We had planned this whole conversation.
It was perfect. So this floppy here goes into this disk 2, Apple disk 2 here. A friend of a friend recently got in touch with me and said, hey, my buddy resurrected his childhood Mac 2 Plus and was using it, and then it suddenly died. Can you take a look at it? And so this is it right here. This gorgeous Apple II Plus. And I never had one. I had an Apple IIe, so I'm actually not that experienced with 2 Plus, but I'm excited. I pulled it open. I yanked out all the cards and the power supply. It had a 300 baud Hayes modem in it. It had a extra 4K of RAM, I think, card, and then it had the floppy controller and some paddle controllers. And here's where I put you. Here's the power supply. So my mission.
That's often what dies. Yeah. So
looks like the power supply or a laser cutter.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Wow.
It's funny because you were talking about split boost power supplies and why you built the one that I featured on my product pick a couple weeks ago. This is a positive 12 volt, negative 12 volt, positive 5, negative 5 is what comes out of this. And so I'm going to test this thing just kind of outside of the board and then poke around in here just to see if anything came loose. But I'm excited to do a little bit of that because it's so reminiscent, once you get it up and running, of this sort of level we're at with Fruit Jam, of a little poking around kind of hacking computer with some games, with some programming, no compiler needed, and some text adventures. So
I love that, you open up the Apple II and it's like all like socketed dip chips, and you're like, it's cool because I don't know about you, but it actually makes me feel like kind of like patriotic. It's like, wow, like California, like we made this in California, and we were like, whatever it takes to build a computer, we will have socketed chip. Every single chip is socketed. Because,
Every one
like,
of them on there. Yep.
And, you know, we just did all through hole, and we just did whatever it took to get computers.
Where's its
to
Prop
everybody.
65 sticker, by the way?
Yeah.
You know, that's a good question. You know, this is something I just learned. So in the side here is the super mod. And the super mod is a RF video output, which Apple could not get the FCC clearance to have RF video out on this. So they talked to some local dude and said, hey, do you want to start a small business? He ended up selling like 4,000 of them the first month or something. They super mod.
This is it's such a like different. It's just like we don't function this way.
Imagine we all got iPads and we're like, oh, it doesn't have wireless. Let's go down to Bob's Wireless and get a wireless blob.
You think about it, like, you know, when you got the HP, like an iPack, you had to buy a separate modem.
Oh yeah,
they didn't have the modem.
Oh no, like besides some, you know, kind of sealed up electronics, certainly in our household, most things have the extra thing to kind of get it to do what you want to do. But regular consumers, you don't have the joy of being able to mold and bend these things into your will.
There's the modem that I pulled from it, so it's got a little telephone jack that just slid onto the back there. It's 300 watts.
To save, JP. Gotta keep this in a safe place.
I'm assuming that is a speaker there, so you can hear.
You have to be able to hear, but if it picked up or not,
you got to hear the busy tone because you know there's used to be a busy signal.
Yeah, you don't know, like, was it busy? Did it connect right, or like did a person pick up?
And when I saw this, suddenly in my head flooded in, because I had a 1200 baud Hayes modem, these AT/DT commands that were like tell the phone how fast to dial and what interval and all that stuff. Like if you were just dialing directly, you could type those in. So I'm kind of hoping to find some way to resurrect a little bit of that.
There's absolutely somewhere in California a still functioning phone BBS. Guaranteed. Guaranteed in Sunnyvale. There's some guy who like cashed out for like millions and millions of dollars, and he's like, well, I was employee number one at like whatever Netflix, and now all I want is to run a BBS out of my home.
Yeah,
you can dial it up.
It probably is linked from cellular to ham to
whatever, man.
Landline to his BBS.
Okay, cool.
Well, excellent stuff. And tomorrow, JP's workshop, going to show off some of these things as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see if I can get this thing up and running, as well as show some of the Fruit Jam projects. I'm working on some other stuff. So please,
there's a lot of tutorials. There's a lot of people who like fixed Apple IIs. They'll tell you what, like it's the same shit over and over again.
So you know, with some of Jeff's work, the people that are really into Macs, they'll now get into Python, and for the folks that are into Python, they'll get introduced to these retro Macs. And I think this is the one thing that you know, it's not a conspiracy. I just think it's like them. This is what, you know, they don't want you to see. Computers used to be way different, everyone. Like there's no ads on the Mac. It's that there's no like subscription cost. Computers were way, way different, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can have computers do what you want. Don't just accept it. So watch tomorrow on the way things can be at any time. At any time we can make things like this, everyone. You just have to, you know, decide, but maybe you have to see it. So see it in JP's show tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll see you all then.
All right. See you, JP.
All right. So speaking of
retro,
thinking of future past, the most futuristic thing is what retro stuff Tim's working on.
Yeah. So I have a Fruit Jam here that is loaded up with the latest project that I'm working on. I have it fed into the HDMI capture port, so that's what we're seeing on the screen here. And then I have a keyboard plugged in, and I've already typed in a word to it, so I'm just going to press enter, and it'll replay the last one.
Microcontroller.
Oh, good.
Microcontroller. Microcontroller.
This is great.
Yeah, so I put together this little kind of speak and say inspired toy. You can type whatever you want into it with a keyboard, and then when you press enter, it will go and fetch from Amazon Polly, the text-to-speech framework that they have, or service, I should say. It will download an MP3 file and then play it. And then I pre-downloaded all of the letters so that it can put the spelling together without having to like download extra stuff again. And then it will play again. So it's kind of like spelling bee style. And then I'll show you as you type here, it will replace whatever's there.
Can't you just upload every word and download it to?
Yeah. It gets a little blinky on the screen when it's doing the request, so I just hit enter there, and it will download the thing, and then it will play whenever it goes.
Python,
so there we go.
Python.
That's cool.
That's neat.
And you can swap out. There's a bunch of different voices. I haven't really played with all of it yet, but you can do all kinds of different fun stuff. Theoretically, it will do sentences and stuff as well. So I've been mostly just sending it single words, but you could theoretically type a couple of words in there, and it will do it. And then I found this really cool 14 segment font that's open font license, and I thought that gave it a nice touch of like making it look like the LCD from the original one.
And for folks, because there's a lot going on here to make it look simple. There's a retro style gaming platform that we made called Fruit Jam. That's why it's called Spell Jam, and it has a video out so you could see it. And Tim has it on the screen. And then we wanted to have some type of speak and spell because we got a speak and spell here.
Yeah.
And it's the reissue speak and spell whatever. And the voice they did the identical voice, which sounds really hard it's hard on the ears.
Yeah.
And now with Amazon, with all their Alexa stuff and all the things that they do, and they also have pretty big incentives to have people use their servers. There's a voice model or voice thing. So you're moving around in MP3. You're not sending. You're not doing speech recognition. It's a fun hack, because you eventually be limited by how long you're willing to wait for the.
Well, it's also like the new
MP3.
Speak and Spell doesn't pronounce words anymore, and the 70s version didn't do a great job. But I thought was cool is like, because you're using Amazon Polly, which is like this massive text to speech model, you can actually put in fairly complicated words and sentences, and it will actually speak them correctly. I thought that'd be kind of neat to show off. So it
only took us 50 years to have the same functionality as the original TI mod. No. That's cool.
Looks good.
One more thing
inspiration.
Yeah, one more thing I will shout out about about CircuitPython 10, I should say, and on the Fruit Jam specifically. Hug reports to Scott for this. He added it back before he left on break. But the saves folder, it's not very big here, but you can see in my REPL, the saves folder is super cool, which allows this to work much easier because it lets us download stuff into Flash. So I don't have to have an SD card or anything. And there's a little writable section. So we can just download that. You don't have to go through the whole boot, press the button, change to writable.
Right.
Yeah,
all
we
that
had
stuff.
multi-partition.
Yeah, we got a nice little spot. You could keep high scores there if you want, or in this case, I can download the file to there. And
because in the past, if we do file transfers, reboots, because that's how the file system works. This is great because you can do a lot of fun stuff, and with files as a service, essentially for everything.
Yeah,
you can do a bunch of heavy lifting somewhere else and just get the.
What's cool is like we're using the ESP32C6 as
an
underlying platform, but it's actually like works. This is pretty smooth. It's like you type the word in it. Fetches the MP3, downloads it, and plays it. Like this is actually like very advanced computer architecture, but like CircuitPython running on a dual core with bitbang HDMI, bitbang USB, and bitbang I2S is able to do a lot. So I kind of threw this at Tim as an idea because first of all I did want to see it, but second I was like, this is a really good exercise of every single piece of the Fruit Jam.
The other thing is, once you look at this framework, you could do something like, well, I want a talking clock. All these things start to like pile up. It's like, oh, what are the times that I really would want a good voice model to do something? And then with this, if there's no internet connection, that's fine for a clock.
Yeah.
With speak and spell, speak and say. Maybe it's different, but then you can start to come up with your own games where it's like, well, maybe I have a local mode and an internet mode. So anyways, neat toolkit of things that people could make. I don't know any other way that you could potentially make a game and then deploy it to a device in like a learning setting for young people
and
to
it's
learn
like
Python.
and there's no ads and there's no like weird back internet stuff and there's no like data being sold. It's like you get to just do whatever you want.
Why isn't there cookies following me?
I know.
All right,
thanks, Dan.
Yep, see you.
All right, so now I think we had someone else come in. And
no, that's Jepler's photos.
That's Jepler's photos. So we're gonna go.
Okay, let's go back to Jepler and see some dithered Mac images.
So I was like, I wonder if he's gonna put those in.
Well, since you put me up to it. So my wife's family is from Dresden in Germany, and I visited there many times, but this time around I found a new to me museum. The English translation I think is like the Dresden Technical Collection. But it's got a bunch of photography stuff. It's got a bunch of early computer stuff. And yes, as requested, I quickly dithered all my images. But I'll go over here and do it in color just because, we're actually living in the present, even though these things are old. So they had the kind of stuff you expect. They had a Pong. I think they had like custom done this enclosure so that you could actually play Pong. But Pong, of course, is American, and this is a German, and in fact, a former East German area. So they had their own thing. I don't know much about this computer, but the East German computer company was called Robotron, and like the innards, they seem like that kind of Apple I era.
Yeah.
Although it says built in 1988 and 1989, so this is a little
Wow,
old
late
for something that looks that basic.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot about this one. I got to talk to, one of the things that made this really cool is I got to talk to a couple of gentlemen who used to work for Robotron, and one of them was interested in preserving this sign, which for many years was at the football stadium, meaning the soccer stadium, and it had a bunch of the this was one individual letter that they preserved, and the rest of it is running on a Raspberry Pi to create the display. And you can actually feed in the paper tapes and relive like the greatest moments of East German sports. And like this is cool.
So
and
cool.
The guy was so enthusiastic, and my German is so bad, and Ingrid's technical knowledge is so bad, but we had a great time and communicated, and I learned a ton. So next up, and I can't verify this true or false, but they say they created the first all-transistor desktop personal computer sometime in, I think, the 1960s. So this thing has about 4,000 transistors in it, and it can read a program from the tape, and you can type in stuff, and you can punch out a new tape. So it does everything a computer does. And they wanted to put these on everybody's desks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people found out in the West that IBM wanted this mainframe model, and then they went that way instead of like bringing the personal computer to desktops in the 1960s.
Yeah.
This one was not operating, sadly.
It's a a glimpse of the past future, everyone. Like this could have been it.
Really was.
Yeah.
It's like so Brazil-esque.
Yeah.
It
comes with 5 lenses and a shaving kit.
This was a relay-based computer for teaching.
Right.
And here at the left, you've got the program. This is
that
the
looks like IBM's current quantum computer, just by the way. No, I'm not dinging on it. I mean, it looks great. Like there's like metal pieces and everything.
Yeah. So I didn't throw the video in this album, but like he could operate it, and this would like the lights would circle around to show you what it was doing, and at the end you could add 2 + 3 and get an answer. And they used it for teaching like into the 70s. Because it's big, and you can see it at
doing more than a quantum computer can do right now. Haha! I keyed the quantum computers.
And they had a lot of other great stuff in their collection. So this is a mechanical adding machine, apparently from the 17th century, if I'm squinting at that label right, and donated to the museum in 2001. Yeah, and I think you'd crank it to get your
hold on. I can't break a 100 coin. Come back with lower denomination.
So last couple of pictures. So apparently the Soviet Union liked to split up what each country was doing so they could not effectively be independent. But Germany got the real plum stuff of they got to make integrated circuits and CPUs. And here they had some of the really old ones and like a blown up picture of the die. And then this was really cool. I think this may have been a Z80 clone CPU, but they had each layer of the mask. This is probably the mask that they actually used to produce it.
Yeah. Yeah, they lensed it down, but this is the only way to get the precision with hand. They would hand.
Yeah. So some people did this, all these layers, and then they made CPUs out of it. Which I mean, in the East and in the West. So
dude, they didn't have nothing else to do.
And this is how NVIDIA still makes every single video card by hand.
And then I'll end with this. This is totally elsewhere. This is in England. This is the code-breaking computer that broke Enigma, or like a replica of part of it. So the dials spin, and at the end, it's like we cracked the code for the day. And that was also a great museum to go to. Sorry about the audio there.
Was this in Wardenclyffe or was elsewhere?
This is at Bletchley Park.
Bletchley Park, yeah. I actually made it out there to Bletchley Park. It's a train ride. I went there. I went to some con in the Netherlands, and we're like, oh, it's only like 6 hours to get there. So we like took the train. It's actually kind of beautiful, but it really is in the middle of nowhere. It's
I like how everything had to be functional, because like in the US, some of the computer museums have functional pieces, but it's very advanced, like software. It's like more, it's like managing the software on it versus anything else. Like the software gets brittle, where these are mechanical. And
yeah, this is like literally brittle bakelite. That it's amazing that it still works.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
anyway.
a lot of maintenance. It's interesting. The collision course of what's happening now is it's engineering and software engineering again, because it's down to like, we need more power, we need more spit, we need more. And this was like, I have to move a physical thing around because I want to try to count to 3. But it was like, if you could do that, you were like a god amongst our plague population at the time. But boy, what a cool museum. Okay, where was this for folks to?
Okay, this is Bletchley Park, just outside of London, like a 45-minute train ride. All of the earlier photos were from the Dresden Technical Museum, which is in the eastern part of Germany, like 2 hours south of Berlin.
Cool.
And I can drop some links about both museums in the chat too.
Yeah, do it.
We're running right up against the end of that.
Folks will probably see the show and tell on YouTube later. If you get them to me, I'll put them as a comment, or you can too.
All right. Well, it
Thank
was
you so
great
much
to
for
hang out with you guys again. Missed you.
Well, this is great, and I like that you shared this with the community out there. This is how you find out about stuff too. Like, it's very hard to go online, especially now, and like type retro computer visit museum. Like, how would you even find it on a search engine?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could, but it'd just be pretty hard. Okay, thanks so much, man.
Ciao.
All right. A great, it's like a show and tell. That was like a show and tell.
Yeah, it's like a playlist for makers. And one day it'll grow and it'll be a real boy. I'll be taller.
Okay.
I'm on the chair again. It turns out stools didn't work on this.
Okay.
This setup today. Okay, everybody. We'll see everybody on Ask an Engineer. We're gonna do our setup. It'll probably be in about half an hour or so.
Yeah, sure.
Look for the notifications on all the socials and more. See you next week. Thank you again, everyone, for coming to Show and Tell. Come by 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Next week, somebody else will host it probably.
Maybe GP. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.